Hi again, everybody, and this is probably the first evening match I think I remember us ever having. So here you can see that it's dark outside here as we are playing in the is this the Northern Marianas Islands? I think something like that. We're playing against Kanoa. This is our first group match here in the AFC Cup. I do know I talked a little bit yesterday about the possibility of ending the save and getting another one going. We'll see what happens. As usual, I'll give this another try and see if we can get things in between matches at a more reasonable pace. We should be able to win this match really, really simply. So let's see what we can do here. We have to, of course, get the ball first, and it's Kader Bamba who knocks that out for a throw instead of winning it back. We have a pretty large cheering section here on hand, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what we can do. I don't think that these matches are televised, but maybe they are, and I'm just ignorant of what's actually happening. Silla gets that from Nene and then brings this up right side, passes it back to Tsai Yuting over to Chen Chengju, back to Tsai Yuting. Over to Kader Bamba now, then to Chen Chengju and over to Silla. Silla forward over to Menegong. That's beautiful over for Nene. He scores that big one, and that makes it 1-0. And yeah, so much for the concept of Nene really disliking big matches. Again, the strikerless formation is kind of what set this up, along with those overlaps. So Menegong here is in front of everybody else, and he just centers it and says, okay, whoever wants it can get it, and anybody has the possibility of scoring. It's 1-0 for Mars FC. We're not even 2 minutes into the match. So I would definitely say this is a big match. I mean, this is the biggest match in the history of the club. Feng Xiaochu knocks this one forward to Ndaye. Ndaye brings this one over back to Feng Xiaochu, over to Ling Guanda, over to Menegong from the side. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. So apparently this tactical approach works fairly well. I guess the best defense is a good offense. Zhou Hongyi knocks this one over to Silla. Silla with it, passes back to Menegong, and that's over to Ndaye. That should have been a goal. That's a really good save there by Pearson. And this is the way that it works. We push forward and forward and forward, and hopefully we'll get another goal here in a jiffy. It's Tsai Yuting who wins that, and that's surprising that's not a penalty call because it looked like one from here, and he is out in front of everybody. Passes back to Menegong. I mean, he's on a defender role, Tsai Yuting is, and it didn't look like it there. Ling Guanda back to Zhou Hongyi, and we set it up again over to Feng Xiaochu. You know, we're on a balanced mentality, and we're playing quickly, almost like there's this sense of urgency. That's over to Silla, and he can't quite get onto it. Menegong now over to Silla, and boy, he launches that one. That one almost curves in as well. Still 1-0 for Mars FC, but we're looking really, really good here in the early going. And this is lumped forward, and Ndaye ends up winning it. Yes, he does in the end. This is Ndaye back to Ling Guanda over to Nene, and that is popped up, and as it's deflected by a defender, takes a lot of the sting out of it, but then Kader Bamba is able to go back and win it again over to Menegong, back to Kader Bamba. Chen Chengju back to Bamba, over to Tsai Yuting, who lumps this forward for Nene, who's beating the defense. Oh, beautiful pass to Ndaye, and I don't know how Pearson was able to get around onto that one. That was an absolute thing of wonder and beauty. That looked absolutely spectacular. Menegong here with the corner, finding Kader Bamba, but unfortunately it sort of popped up and out of play. The score is still 1-0 for Mars FC, as that was a pretty good way to locate Nene, and that pass over to Ndaye was just absolutely amazing. That was a thing of beauty. And this strikerless formation may be exactly what we needed, because instead of relying on one person to score the goals, we have probably 5 guys who are all in contention for maybe scoring. Tsai Yuting wins that again over Ling Guanda, back to Tsai Yuting. And it's with Nene, and he scores again. 2-0 Mars FC, 2-0 for Nene, and that's going to count. Yep, that's his 20th of the season overall. 2-0 early. We're 20 minutes in, so a goal every 10 minutes is not such a bad rate after all. Tsai Yuting with a great pass, and Nene just goes right behind the defense, and there he goes, and he scores. And you can see how this 3 attacking midfielder formation creates problems for their defense, right? As they're trying to figure out who to cover, because if you double team one guy, you're going to leave somebody else open. As long as we're able to hold on to the ball and keep attacking like this, we're going to keep creating problems for them. Ling Guanda with a shot from just outside the area, and that's within his range, certainly. And again, I mean, what we're doing, even if he doesn't hit that shot, is we're kind of announcing to their defense that we can do this and we can shoot from back here, and so you're in trouble. Zhou Hongyi back all the way back to Lin Bolai, or whatever his name is. Back to the keeper, over to Bamba now. Bamba moves up. There's Menegong. Menegong with it. Oh, beautiful pass to Silla, and he should have passed one more time for the hat trick for Nene. That was very, very well done, though. And this, once again, like I said, is shows where the problem is, because any one of these guys can wind up being open. Silla here, and he had 1, 2, 3, 4 men to choose from if he had elected to center instead of shooting. And it puts a lot of pressure, of course, on the keeper as well, because he has to save the ball away from the mass of blue players running right in front of him. Now, this is where we're a little bit weak, because the question is whether we can get them defensively. And there's Ndai over to Silla, back to Ling Guanda. Ling Guanda over to Cai Yuting. Cai Yuting lumps this forward, looking for Nene, and it's behind the defense. Really poor job by their defenseman. And Pearson, again, is just barely able to make the save and prevent Nene from getting his hat trick. Menegong here with the corner. And he goes back and launches, and it's off everybody. Cai Yuting goes back and grabs it over to Chen Chengju, and that's going to be the end of that movement. And I guess we don't really need to see this replay. We've had a lot of clear-cut chances so far. I mean, a lot, and we look awesome. Ling Guanda with it over to Chen Chengju. Chen Chengju down to Silla. Silla forward again to Nene. He's behind the defense once again, and he scores. Oh, no, he doesn't. That's off the top bar. I don't know how he did that. It would have been hard to do. I mean, can you imagine that, being in that position, and instead of knocking the ball in the goal, you somehow hit the top bar? I mean, he should get extra points for that. It's a target practice here. So, I mean, Nene behind everybody, and yeah, it's amazing that he just happened to hit that top bar instead of knocking it over or knocking it right under and in. So it's still 2-0 for us, 2-0 for Nene, and it's Menegong who wins this over right side, and is popped up to nobody in particular. Menegong now again over to Chen Chengju, and oh man, Nene trying again for that goal. And I tell you, we have nobody playing forward, and yet it feels like everybody's playing forward. Menegong here with it. Over to Silla. Silla, cross it. And now he waits a little too long. Menegong, though, with the cross, and it's a little bit too late. We lose that advantage. But Ling Guanda wins it over to Nene. And, man, I tell you, this defense is just swarming for us all over the place. Cai Yuting pops this one up, and unfortunately nobody able to get onto it. And Cai Yuting wins this again over to Chen Chengju to Silla. Silla over again to Nene behind the defense, and he's going to score that one. Not going to miss that with the right foot, and that's a goal number 3. There's his hat trick 40 minutes in. And so Kanoa Resort Football Team has, or whatever they're called, has a huge mountain to climb because of the way that we've been playing here. I mean, this is just spectacular. 3-0 for Mars FC, and the good times continue to roll. Hat trick for Nene, who still does not have the 10.0 rating. Isn't it a good thing that we decided not to get rid of this guy? And we are finally at halftime. So we're going to tell them that we're happy with what's going on and keep it up. We like all of the shots that we're taking and the fact that we're allowing nothing to happen. Zhou Hongyi now with the ball. Forward over to Feng Xiaochi, over to Ndaye. Ndaye will move up with it and cross a little bit over to Ling Guanda, and it is crossed again to Silla, who can't get over onto it. Menegong now to Chen Chengju, and there's the shot from middle of nowhere again. Segundo Volante with the shot from the back. Here's Feng Xiaochi with it again. This is going to be one of those matches that takes a little while to play because we're seeing highlights all over the place. That's the way our attack is. Feng Xiaochi now with it. Over to Nene. It's back to Ndaye, and Ndaye takes a shot, and that hits off the top crossbar out for a goal kick. But that was, again, really impressive. I mean, that was really, really good. Knocked forward again, and Chen Chengju wins it after he had a shot a little while ago. And I tell you, one guy's tackled and another guy's behind him to take the shot. That's what's happening there, and we're playing pretty well. I think this new formation might end up being quite successful for us. In fact, one of the things that brought me back here and told me, hey, let's not start a new save, was the fact that we hadn't played much of this formation. I don't know what that was from Zhou Hongyi because there's nobody there. I think he's forgotten that we don't have a striker forward. But this formation is interesting, and it creates, as you can see, all sorts of problems for the defense. Tsai Yuting over to Chen Chengju, down to Bamba. We bring it up here right side, over to Tsai Yuting again, to Ling Guanda. You can see how far back we are playing in the attacking formation, and then we just run up at the last second here. And somebody's got it. It's Chen Chengju this time over to Menegon to Silla, and there's the goal for Silla. Silla has been knocking and knocking at the door. Finally, the door opens. It's 4-0 for Mars FC. Chen Chengju really makes this. They have, see here, 4 guys back, but they're all playing too far back, and nobody is actually guarding our players. That's the reason why you want them to play back a little bit more, because it creates a huge problem, right? They establish their line, but our guys are just a step or two back, and so we're able to win the ball a little bit further back and score the goal. 4-0 for us. Leiboldo, and that's his name, over to Bamba. Cutter Bamba with it down to Zhou Hongyi. Zhou Hongyi's got it and brings it up left side now over to Feng Xiaoqi to Ndaye. Ndaye back to Zhou Hongyi. We are in control. Ndaye back to Tsai Yuting. Over to Zhou Hongyi again, over to Ling Guanda. Ling Guanda, beautiful pass to Ndaye. Over to Feng Xiaoqi, and Nene with a chance at a fourth, but he's not able to win that header. This is the first attack that they've shown us from Kanoa. I mean, this is the first attack that I've seen, and that wasn't really all that much. I mean, he launched a shot out right at our defender, and so we were able to handle that one pretty easily. Everybody having a good match. I mean, even Feng Xiaoqi, who looks like he doesn't want to be there, is having a fairly good match. Feng Xiaoqi here with the free kick over to Zhou Hongyi, who is fouled. That is a penalty that's given. Wesley Duenas ends up with the yellow card. I'm not sure who's taking this one. Is this going to be, this is Nene again, so that's number 4 for him. And that gives him the 10.0 rating. 22 goals now in the season for Nene. And he does this little jig, a little bit of an Irish jig there for him. 5-0 for Mars FC. And man, I mean, we are just absolutely dominating them. We look like we shouldn't be in this competition, to be honest with you. Now, I don't know if every team's going to be like this, because we do have some more difficult teams to play in some more difficult places. But this is impressive. Nene, he lumps it forward. See, this is the thing. There's nobody up there. So we just sort of kick the ball over there to no one in particular and then run after it and hope that we can get to it. Kind of a silly thing to do, but we're still, I guess, getting used to the tactic. Let's see if we can get used to getting the ball off of them. That's the thing I would really like us to get used to. Chen Chengju now with it. And unfortunately, Chen Chengju is probably not the player you want to attack like this. You look at how many players Kanoa has back, as it's Wesley here with it once again. I mean, they don't even get a shot all the way over to goal. And G is getting the card for them. If you look at how many players they had back, I swear they have 6 guys playing behind the ball at all times because of what our attack is like, right? Otherwise, we'd be up by 10 or 11. Here now is Menegon with the corner. And this is over looking for Joe, and he can't find him. And then Ndaye tries a shot from way out there. And that one had a chance of going in. Didn't quite do it, though. And Ndaye not exactly having the best match of his career. Leibo then over to Tsai Yuting. Down to Ling Guanda. Ling Guanda back to Tsai Yuting. Lumped on forward. And that was looking again for Nene, but he's not there. Silla with it, and that is the final whistle. So we stick with the save. We stick with the team. We're doing well. 4.51 XG. This is the best match I think we've ever had. And Nene scores 4 goals since we stuck with him. We sticked with him. And we're doing pretty well. Mars FC win this one 5-0. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.